If you've been living with chronic reproductive health conditions and you're trying to get pregnant in the next 12 months, hands down, you need a strategy. If you've been living with chronic health conditions, chronic reproductive health conditions, and you're over the age of 30, or you're over the age of 40, and you're trying to conceive in the next 12 months, if you are experiencing polycystic ovarian syndrome, if you are experiencing fibroids, if you are experiencing premature ovarian insufficiency, if you are experiencing abnormal uterine bleeding, if you are going through irregular menstrual cycles, if you are not conceiving easily, if you are experiencing miscarriages, multiple miscarriages, if you are going through multiple rounds of IVF, you need a strategy. Working towards getting pregnant and doing the same thing each and every single time hasn't gotten you the results that you're looking for. And it's important that you recognize that you have an incline that you're working against, right? Not because it can't be done, but because of the timing that you're choosing to get pregnant, because of the condition of your body as you're working towards getting pregnant, because of the circumstances around you that are influencing your ability to create an ideal environment if you are working towards getting pregnant, especially in the next 12 months. So it's not just about removing food from your diet. And I think this is where a lot of people can sometimes get mixed up. Like if you don't have a chronic health condition and, you eat and change your diet, you're eating better foods and, you do one or two different shifts, you can move the needle and feel a huge difference. When you're living with chronic health conditions, it's a little bit different, right? And so removing food is not just the only thing that you need to do. You need to start asking yourself, the questions like, what am I really up against? What is the scope of the condition that I'm living with? And what are the obstacles that they are presenting in all areas of my life? Like, is it affecting me physically? How is it affecting my daily active living, my active daily living? Is it affecting, my thoughts during the day? And how much time is it taking up? Is it affecting how I'm feeling and how I'm responding to my environment, and how are the people of care, people within my circle of care, how are they either supportive of me right now as I am, right, or not supportive of me? What is perpetuating my state of being right now? Because I recognize that I'm living with a chronic health condition. And so you have to pay attention. Where are you the bottleneck on your wellness journey? Ask yourself these questions, right? Because it wasn't anyone else that put you there. We do have genetic factors that do come into play. We do have environmental factors that come into play, but really and truly, when it comes down to it, right, there are many ways to arrive somewhere. And so we have to, when it comes to healing, it's important to be reflective. How did I get here? How did I contribute to my state of being as I am, right? What happened that I did not pay attention to, and what happened that I did pay attention to, or maybe I didn't pay enough attention to, right? Or was I not knowledgeable enough, or just what has happened on my journey? How did I get to where I am, and how am I perpetuating this state? What decisions am I making that are keeping me comfortable, that are allowing me to continue to talk about this state that I'm in, because I'm not actually doing anything differently, right? So how am I perpetuating my particular chronic health right now? And why am I still staying in this state of being, right? These are real honest questions that we have to ask ourselves when we're working with wellness, when we're on a journey, when we're looking to change our matter. It's very, very important because, just like in business, just like, in academics, a lot of times you have to come back to your why. And your why is always attached to your own personal motivation, right? And so on your wellness journey, you are the why, you know what I mean? With all of these other extra perks that come with whatever you're trying to manifest. But, what are you perpetuating? Where are you the bottleneck? Because you're either allowing ease and flow in areas that can be helped, because there are areas that cannot be helped and there are areas that can be helped, right? So you're either perpetuating ease and flow, or you're constricting and creating a bottleneck. So after you've, looked at these kinds of things, as you're considering strategy, when you're preparing yourself to get pregnant and you're living with chronic health conditions, right? Like, what are all of your options, right? What are all of the options, and have I explored all of the options that are related to my health condition, right? The options that are being offered, is it something, are these things that I feel as though I'm confident and comfortable with? Am I knowledgeable about what is being explored, right? Or what is being offered within the scope of my condition? And do I feel as though I have, healthcare, just like, can I speak to my doctor? Do I have anyone around me who I can have these conversations about as I begin to consider how I want to move the needle, right? Because having a strategy is going to keep you accountable. It's going to give you a level of accountability that will give you permission to step into rhythm and alignment, right, with whatever it is that you're working with. And especially if you're working with your menstrual cycle, especially if you're working with, wanting to get pregnant, as a woman in general, if you're coming to me, you're talking about rhythm, you're talking about, how your own intimate cycle is functioning and how you function in concomitance avec your rhythm. And so being accountable to cleaning up those areas that are bottlenecking is why we want to be held accountable, because it's easy to look at these issues and these problems and continue with everyday life. And we want to be accountable to change these habits that are comfortable and appeasing and appealing to the lifestyle that we've created, right? Because in actuality, we create our lifestyles, and then we either continue to perpetuate them with some complaining, or we make a conscious decision to change when we recognize that we are, in fact, being a bottleneck. So if you are dealing with chronic health conditions and you are over the age of 30, over the age of 40, and you are preparing your body, or you want to prepare your body for pregnancy in the next 12 months, it's important to consider what kind of strategy you are going to put in place to achieve the level of success, right? A healthy pregnancy and a successful, healthy birth and baby.